Welcome. Today we will explore our breath and our movements, natural ability to heal our bodies. So we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall, sitting cross-legged. Maybe you've got your legs out in front. That's totally up to you. You're going to find a comfortable spot. If you have a block handy, you may want to just sit on this block. Kind of helps to open up those hips a bit. Please be mindful that everything we do here is an invitation. And you want to for sure stay with your own body. So lengthen up through that spine, lift the shoulders up, draw them back, and then take them down. Find your bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana, and Jalandhara Bandha, which are our body locks in yoga, which just simply helps us to align our bodies properly. So we're going to start by breathing in and breathing out, sitting up really tall. Maybe close your eyes here. And just begin to center your body. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, release. And again, inhale. And exhale. And one more time, big breath in. Exhale to release. Closing our mouths, we're going to breathe in and out through the nose. This is Ujjayi breath. So while taking these long breaths, we're working on our diaphragm. As you inhale, that diaphragm closes, and then as you exhale, the diaphragm opens, which helps us to breathe easier, helps with bronchitis, helps with any kind of respiratory issue. So if you're sitting with one leg forward, you're just going to swap legs. Bring that other leg forward just for something a little bit different. Just to get a different feel in your body. Sit up tall. Continue to breathe in and out. So these breaths are nice and long. You feel the belly fill up with air, and then you feel it release. As that belly releases, the air goes out of the belly. The belly button goes back towards that spine. Relaxing the muscles in your face. Relax your jawline. Soften the eyes. Thinking about your breath. Hearing the inhale and the exhale. If the eyes are closed, we're going to gently open them. Allow that head to lean over towards the right side. Maybe bring that right hand down towards the floor. Press into that mat to get a little deeper stretch. Breathe. As you inhale, lift the head up. And exhale, take it over to that left side. Draw that right shoulder back. You're sitting up nice and tall. You've still got your bandhas. You've engaged the bandhas here. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana, and Jalandhara Bandha. Which are your body locks. You're protecting your spine here. Inhaling, raise the head back up. As you exhale, extend those arms out and up. Open up those palms, stretch through the fingers, engage the triceps and the biceps, and very slowly bring those hands down. Inhale. Sit up a little bit taller. Feel those sit bones press down into that mat, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, this time bring that left hand over to that right knee. Sit up nice and tall, and then look over that right shoulder. Full breath.
And inhale, just move on over to the other side. Sit up really tall. Exhale to release. So remember, in these twists, we want to lengthen from that low back up through the middle back, up through the crown of the head. So you're not just cranking everything over at the same time. Do it a little bit at a time. Inhale, bringing that torso back towards the front. Just plant the hands on the floor. Walk the hands forward. Keep both those sit bones down. Just exhale as you fold. Tuck that chin into the chest. Heavy shoulders, heavy head. Sit all the way up nice and tall. Extend the arms out broad across the shoulders. Reach the arms up. Exhale slowly. Bring those hands down. Pull the shoulders back. Reach for that floor. Exhale as you fold forward. Both hips are down. Tucking that chin around the spine. Feel that spine working. Inhale as you sit up nice and tall. Reach the arms up. And then exhale, bring those hands forward. Exhale to fold. Tuck that chin. Round the spine up. Inhale, slowly stretch those arms out and up. And then exhale, gently bring the hands down. We're gonna roll over to all fours. Come up onto those knees, spread those fingers out super wide. Find that index finger, find that thumb, and press down through all the fingers in the palm of your hand. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Draw the bellies up to the spine. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Let's continue. Come onto those toes, press into all 10 toes, and slowly lean back onto your heels. Engaging the arms. I don't know if anybody has cramps in the bottoms of their feet, in their toes, maybe in your calf muscles. This will help to release that, along with magnesium, drinking lots of water. Breathe. Inhale gently, keep those bellies drawn in, help yourself all the way back up. We are going to extend up through that left arm. Reach it up towards the ceiling as you exhale. Thread that arm underneath that right. Place that shoulder on the floor. Squeeze on those sit bones just a bit. Breathe. Maybe that ear comes down a little bit closer towards that mat. Now you might just take that right arm, stretch it up towards the ceiling. You take it anywhere that feels good to you, or you can stay on the floor. But you're breathing here, and you're drawing that right shoulder back, drawing your belly in. Allow that right arm to come back down. Push yourself back up to all fours. Adjust, draw that belly back up, pull those shoulders back down. Let's come back into all 10 toes, sitting back, press into the palms. Draw the shoulders down, smile. Helps to release those muscles in that face. And we're going to take it over to the other side now. So make your way back up. As you inhale, raise that right arm up towards the ceiling. Doesn't matter how far that arm goes. Keep those bellies drawn in though, and then just interlace that or thread that right arm underneath the left. Now once you're here, let's just take that left arm and press it up. So we're going to press into the palm of the arm that's over your head, and you're going to press down with the top of the hand that is on the floor. Find your belly, draw it back, and you're pressing into those toes. And I'm hoping you're breathing deep. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Beautiful. On your next inhale, draw that left arm in. Help yourself all the way back up. We're going to walk these arms up just a bit. Extend out nice and long through that right leg, pressing through the ball of that foot. Feel that stretch all the way up to the sit bone. Now find your belly, draw it up. Pull the shoulders down and back. You're lengthening out through that neck so you're not looking at me. You're going to take those fingers, spread them out nice and wide. Breathe. On that next inhale, keep that leg nice and long. Just lift the leg up. You keep your gaze down towards the mat. And then just gently take that right leg, crossing it over the left leg. And then get a little look over that left shoulder. So the belly is drawn in. The shoulders are down. You're pressing into the ball of that right foot. And you're looking over that left shoulder. Keeping that leg extended, allow that leg to come back to center, point the toes down towards the mat. Inhale right here as you lift up on that left arm. Nice and long right here. Now you keep your neck long, keep that belly drawn up. This is a bit of a balancing pose. I'm on my toes on that left foot. Breathe. Allowing that hand and that knee to come back down. We're just going to switch over to the opposite side. Press into the ball of that left foot. Stretch through those fingers. Press down with the palms. Feel that stretch all the way up to that sit bone on that left side, on the back side. Your gaze is down towards the mat. Lift the belly up towards the spine. Feel the breath in your chest. Feel those inhales and those exhales, those long breaths. So good for your lungs. On that next inhale, lift that left leg up, stretch through that heel. And then slowly just allow that left leg to cross over the right. Press into the palms, draw the belly up, looking over that right shoulder. Find your breath. Find your smiles. You know, stretching is always a good thing to do in the morning before you get out of bed. A lot of times we'll wake up feeling stiff because we've been laying in one position all night. Or been laying in bed all night. On your next inhale, lift that left leg up. Slowly bring it back towards the center. Now really drawing on your belly. Extend out through the leg and that right arm. Breathe. So now can you maybe kind of pull those shoulders down just a bit. They tend to like to ride up around the ears, and we want to extend out long through the back part of our bodies. Allow that arm and that knee to come down. Keep the bellies drawn up. We're going to one more time sit back into those toes, but this time we're going to bring both of those hands, bring the fingertips together. The arms are engaged. You're opening up on the shoulders and you're sitting back on those toes. Feel the stretch in the back of that foot, on the edge of the foot. Feel it in the toes. Send your breath there. Let them stretch out, keep pressing down. Nice. On your next inhale, bring those hands forward. We're slowly going to push up into our first downward facing dog. So we're gently going to lift and lower the heels here to begin with. From there, you're going to check the feet to make sure that they're hip distance apart. So it's not like this, it's just like this, you know, just lifting and lowering. So now take your attention to the backs of those legs and just see if you can feel your hamstrings back behind that knee, down into the heel, and into the calf muscle. Just lift and lower here. So now notice what your bellies are doing. Lift the belly up. So, you know, when we talk about the bandhas, that is also Mula Bandha, which is your root lock. That is right down at the bottom. It's at that perineum muscle, that muscle that you use to go to the bathroom. Just engage that muscle just a bit. Draw the belly button back. Keep lifting and lowering on the heels. And then slowly just reach the sit bones back towards or up to the ceiling. Release the shoulders down. Release that head. And then pull the shoulders apart. Pull them away from your ears. Arms are energized. Palms, fingers press down into the mat. Nice. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly lower down to the knees. Walk those hands back. Now I'm going to turn this way. We're going to bring those hands to that low back. Find those palms, press down on that low back. You're walking or you're standing up on your knees. Engage your inner thighs and then just get a little back bend here. So, you know, you're not just pulling these shoulders, you're going to pull the shoulders away from the ears. So you want to feel the stretch in the back. So you're pressing down through the knees, you're engaging your quadricep muscles. And what happens is the hips stay in line over those knees. Now everybody's at a different spot. If you're into the full camel pose, please go for it. Wherever you're at, you're going to find your breath. Soften your eyes. Using those abdominals, press down into those knees, help yourself all the way back up, nice and slow. Now we're going to sit back on those heels. Inhale as you stretch the arms out broad across the shoulders. Round the shoulders forward. Exhale as you take them back. Opening and closing the palms. So each time that I take these back, I'm going to pull those shoulder blades down. I've still got my body locks engaged here. Deep breaths. Opening the shoulders, opening the chest. Engaging the arms, stretching through the fingers. Stretch those hands out, push the walls away, and then slowly make your way back up. You're going to come right back into that camel pose, or your version of camel. Remember the knees, the hips are in line with the knees. Draw that low back down, pull the elbows towards one another. And then just get a little back bend. Slowly make your way back up. Sit back onto your knees. We're going to walk the hands forward. Bring the big toes together. Open up those knees. You're in a child's pose. Allow the forehead to come down. Just kind of nestle that belly in between those knees, in between those thighs. Draw the shoulders down and back. Engage the arms. Breathe. Feel those hips pressing back towards those heels. Feel your arms nice and long and the shoulders pulling down. Slowly walking those hands back to your body. Inhale as you stretch those arms out and up. And then you're going to exhale, bring those hands down. We're going to push back up into our downward dog. And then just slowly walk those hands back to your feet. Lower the heels down. Exhale as you fold forward, bent or straight legs. Maybe you kind of do a little bit of both. But your abdominals are engaged here. Your spine is long. Maybe just kind of bend and straighten the legs. Just kind of warming up those hamstrings. You let the hands fall where they will. But we're also going to get our spine involved in this. So you're straightening and bending the legs. You're holding onto your ankles, maybe up above, a little bit closer to those knees. That's okay. Just lift and lower. Breathe. Neck is long. It is an extension of your spine. Inhale, really reach those sit bones up. Draw that belly in. Come as close to your knees as you possibly can. On your next inhale, heavy shoulders, heavy head. We're going to round ourselves all the way up. Keep that spine rounded. Shoulders come up. Shoulders go down the back. Release the arms. You're standing nice and tall. So we're going to bring our feet together. We're going to find this is called Samastiti. This is always a good position to come to. So what happens here is the big toes touch, unless you have back issues and you want to bring those feet apart just a little. You have a little bit of space in between those heels. Press down with the soles of those feet and then gently just lift up through the center part of your body. That means that those kneecaps lift, you're kind of squeezing on those calf muscles. Draw that belly button in, you're nice and long right here. So find Mula Bandha, that perineum muscle, the low belly muscle, draw it back just a little. Find your belly button, take it back. Now this isn't a big suck in, okay? This is just a nice little gentle engagement. And it's just to help you to keep everything in line. And then from there, find that long line from that belly button up to that sternum. Lift the shoulders up, draw them back, take them down. Release the arms, engage the arms just a bit. Take your gaze down the bridge of the nose and breathe. You might close your eyes here, give you a whole different feel. Maybe wobbling around just a little bit while you're standing nice and tall. Give yourself time to notice the breath. Notice how the shoulders feel. Notice if anything feels pinched up. If something does feel really super tight, then you want to take your breath. Send it to that part of your body. Let it release, let it relax. Press down a little bit more into those feet. Lift the torso up a little bit more off of the hips. See if you can take that chin back just a little bit. And breathe. gently, the attention is turned on the inside, and you're noticing how your body feels here. If the eyes are closed, open them, stretch those arms out broad across the shoulders. Reach them out, pull the shoulder blades into your pockets. Pull those shoulder blades down, lift that neck up, stretch through the arms. And then slowly just bring the palms back. We're going to bring these feet apart, about 3 or 4 feet. We're going to bend this front leg. This front leg is at a 90 degrees, so you kind of want to extend out nice and long here. This is a side angle. So you want to line that heel up with the arch of that back foot. And then you're going to just notice how your feet feel. Can you feel the big toe, the little toe pressing into the mat? Can you feel that arch lifting up right here? When you do that, you're going to engage these legs all the way up to your pubic bone. And you're going to draw in, make sure that you've got everything drawn in right here. The spine is nice and straight, it's nice and tall. Breathe. Soften the eyes. And then gently just bend that front elbow. Bend it onto that knee. Check back in with the feet. Make sure you're nice and strong. See if you can take this top hip and draw it back. When you do that, that front knee is going to open up a little bit. It's going to go towards the back of the room. And you've got that block there. You might want to just bring the hand down to that block. The blocks are very helpful, and they just simply help you to be in these asanas, in these poses, but hopefully you're more comfortable while you're in these poses, which if you're more comfortable, that means you're going to stay a little bit longer. Are you breathing? Are you smiling? Inhale as you stretch that arm all the way up. Press this elbow into that knee. Notice how you feel. So the therapeutic aspect of this pose is you're strengthening your knees here. You're working your abs. You're also stretching out your spine. Now just see if you can take that torso and draw it back. So it's not up here, it comes back. Towards the back of the room, you're opening up here. So you stay in these poses as long as feels appropriate to you, but remember that you can usually stay a little bit longer than what your body tells you to. Your mind is always saying you can't do this stuff, but you really can. Nice. On that next inhale, lower that top arm. We're going to bring that block towards the center of your body before we go to the other side. We might bring those legs apart just a little bit more. So the heels are going to go out, the toes are going to come in. You're going to engage those legs right here. That means the inner thighs. That means you're lifting up on those kneecaps and you're really pressing down through the feet, the big toe, the little toe. Now find your abs and lengthen out through that spine. Breathe. You can use the block. You don't have to use the block. It mostly just depends on how your body feels today, what your body needs. Our bodies are different every day. Now we're going to place one hand on that block. We're going to get just a little twist here. Stretch that opposite arm up towards the ceiling. But like I said before, you want to get a little twist in that spine, starting with the sacrum, then feel that middle back turn, then you feel the top part right below that neck, and then the neck, you feel that move, and then you can feel that out the crown of your head. So you are twisting this spine nice and slow. You're not forcing the spine, you're just letting it relax. trying to hit all of the vertebrae. Try to let them open nice and slow. And then maybe just drop that top hand. Press down a little bit more into that bottom hand. Draw the abs in, pressing down through the legs, and maybe open a little more. Beautiful. And then on your next inhale, release that hand. Let's just move over to the other side. Lift the other arm up. You keep what you've got in your legs. Draw the bellies up, lengthen out through the spine, and then begin to find that little twist from your low back, middle back, upper back, out through the neck, out through the crown of the head. Find your breath. Slowly allow that hand to come back down. We're going to inhale right here, come up nice and long. Lengthen out through the spine, pull the shoulders down and back, press into those heels. And then we're going to just bring the opposite leg. We're going to find our side angle on this side. So this front foot is parallel with that mat. Press down with the big toe, the little toe. Find your block if you need it. Engage the legs. Find this back leg, press it down. Drawing on the abs, lift up right here. Maybe you kind of take that torso and pull it back. Gently release those shoulders. Breathe. Now when you're ready, just bend that elbow. Open this top shoulder. Take the spine back. Reach up through that arm if that feels good. If not, leave it down. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. And I hope you're wobbling a little bit. Wobbling's always good. It's just those muscles working a little bit more than they normally do. Maybe you get a little bit more of a bend in that front leg. Remember, if you'd like a little bit more, just reach for that block and keep extending out through the spine. Hopefully the legs are in a good spot. Bring that pubic bone forward just a hair so you're in a straight line. From that hip up through the crown of the head. Are you breathing? Coming out if you need to. And then you rejoin us. This is only yoga, not a big deal. Exhale slowly as you bring that hand down. Once more, we're going to walk back towards the center of this mat. Maybe extend the legs out a little bit longer. Maybe you bring them in a little bit closer. And then inhale. Place the hands on that block or maybe on the floor. Find that long spine again. Keep that head down. Press through those legs. Press through those heels. When you do that, you're going to feel a sensation coming up through the backs of those legs. Engage your kneecaps. Draw the bellies up, lengthen out through the spine. And then maybe you just bring those hands below the shins or onto the shins, maybe down to the ankles. But keep those abs drawn in. You could grab this block, any level that feels good to you. Maybe place your head on that block. So we are looking for a straight-ish spine right here. So you take that block any way that feels good to you. Maybe you don't need the block. You choose. Or maybe I should say your body will for sure let you know what you need to do, where you need to be. So what's your shoulders doing? Are you sagging those shoulders down? Pull the shoulders back. Keep those abs drawn in. And then very slowly keep the abs drawn in. We're going to lengthen out through that spine. Heel toe those feet together just a step or two. Engage the legs, bring the hands to your hips and gently help yourself all the way up. Nice, let's get a little back bend here just to take that spine in a different direction. Draw those elbows back towards one another. Breathe. Slowly allow that head to come back up to center. We're going to take the feet out nice and wide. We're going to make our way into a goddess pose. So you decide how far these feet go apart. You want to take these knees, open them out towards the sides. Bring that tail down, lift up through the torso. Pull the shoulders down into the back pockets. Inhale gently as you stretch those arms out broad across the shoulders, and then just cactus the arms. Breathe. See if you can straighten the spine. Spine always wants to tend to come forward a little bit. So see if you can draw that spine back. So the abs are engaged, you're sinking a little bit lower. Maybe take those elbows back. Beautiful. On your next inhale, press through those legs, straighten the legs, or press through the feet, then straighten the legs, reach those arms all the way up. Exhale, extend those arms out, pull the shoulders down. We're going to interlace the hands back behind you, keep those feet right where they are, so you might be a little bit wobbly. Bring the shoulder blades together. Draw in on your bellies. And then slowly release the hands, extend them out broad across the shoulders. Exhale, allow those hands to come down. Heel toe the feet together. And we are right back into your mountain pose. Samastitihi, stand tall. Pull your shirt down, pull your pants up. Find the big toes, find the little toes. Lift up on the arches, find those heels. Feel those legs work. You can feel the inside. You can feel the muscles on the outside of those legs. You can feel those kneecaps. Lift this torso up. You feel that rib cage lifting up off of those hips. Draw those shoulders down and back. Breathe. Inhale as you stretch those arms out and up, reach them up. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Now you're still standing nice and tall right here. We're going to bring these legs apart and we're going to make our way into our malasana, into our little yogi squat right here. So the heels, we work on bringing those heels down. If they don't come down, you can always roll up your mat. You can place towels under your feet. You can use blocks.
when we get here, when we get where we're going, and truthfully, if this just does not simply work for you, then you just might be right here. You know, you might just be right here just to kind of work into those hips. So I've got a bit of a squeeze on my sit bones. I'm working towards lengthening that spine up. I'm going to press into my palms, see if I can open those, lift up on my elbows a bit. I'm just lifting and lowering here. But I am slowly working into my hips. And then if that begins to feel all right, then maybe you just come on down into your little squat here. Bring those elbows on the insides of those knees and open the knees out. Find your breath. So you know there's always going to be farther to go in yoga. We never want to push it in yoga, especially in healing yoga. The body can heal itself. And we learn that through physical therapy. And I've learned it a lot through yoga. This has mostly been my medicine. So nice and easy now, just release and slowly come back onto your sit bones. We're going to interlace those hands around right below those knees. Lift the feet up, flex the feet. You're nice and tall here, and then you're going to just take the chin and bring it towards the chest. Breathe. You are breathing, aren't you? And then slowly just release. We're going to extend these legs out nice and long. Now remember, if that does not work, you know, you can put a block under those legs. A bolster works, towels work. But, you know, don't stretch these legs out if it does not feel good to you. We're going to bring those hands right down beside those hips. This is a staff pose, and it seems like a wimpy little pose here, but you are pressing down with your hands, so you're lifting up through that torso. You're drawing the shoulder blades towards one another. Feel the sit bones. Use your abs. Extend out as best you can through the legs. Point the toes back towards the face, and then gently just tuck the chin into the chest. And breathe. Can you feel your chest lifting? Can you feel it lower? Allowing that head to come back up to center. We're going to release this right leg and just bring the sole of that foot towards that inner thigh. Press that foot in. You want to get this stuff out of the way here. You want to feel both those sit bones nice and tall. I mean, you feel the sit bones pressing down into the mat, then extend out long through this leg. So I'm going to take this big toe and I'm going to point it towards the front of the room. If I splay it out, I'm losing this stretch in here, and I want to stretch that. I want to keep that knee. I want to stretch this whole leg here, the back of the leg. So by pressing down with the heel and drawing the toes back, I'm getting into that whole leg. And then by pressing that sit bone down, lifting up right here. Inhale as you stretch those arms out and up. And then as you exhale, it's a forward fold, but you're going to fold from this hip crease right here. You're going to try to keep that front part of your body nice and long. So you're going to come down just as far as you feel the stretch. I'm still pressing into my sit bones. I can still feel the stretch in my leg, but I'm also getting a bit of a stretch in my spine. You let the hands just fall where they will. Remember, we are happy to be where we are. Breathe in, breathe out. It helps to keep pushing this bent leg into that inside thigh. You will maintain the stretch if you are taking that big toe and pressing it forward. Remember, we're not pushing to strain anything. Remembering that everybody is at a different level. There's no judgment in this class. And my part about this is I'm just trying to keep moving. So, nice and easy, just release those hands. Let's just tuck that chin into the chest, round the spine. Keep pressing that foot into that inner thigh. And then sit up nice and tall. We're going to stretch those hands back behind to open up that heart. Look up towards that ceiling. Press into that earth. You could just kind of get a little bit of a lift here, get a little bit more of a back bend if that feels good to you. Allow those sit bones to come all the way down to the floor. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to release this right leg, extend it out. Bring both those feet together. Lengthen up. Find that staff pose again, okay? Press down through those hips. Extend out through the legs. Draw the shoulders down and back. Your abs are engaged. You're nice and long and tall right here in that spine. And then just gently allow the chin to come to the chest. So you're stretching out the back of that neck here. You know, it's always helpful to go against the wall when you feel like, you know, maybe you're not sitting up as tall as you could be. The wall will help you to support your spine a little bit more. You will feel safer and hopefully go a little deeper in your pose. Beautiful. On your next inhale, just lift that head all the way up. We're going to find this left leg. Take the sole of this foot and press it into, now this may be enough for some folks, you know. You just let this knee come down. This is where that block also comes in handy. Like if you're really feeling it in here, put that block under there. It will help. Find your sit bones. Keep pressing down with this knee. Extend out nice and long through this right leg. Remember that big toe and point the toes back. Lengthen up right here so that you feel space in between your rib cage, and then draw those shoulders down and back. You're welcome to stay right here. If you feel like you're sitting up nice and tall, this might be a good place to stay for a few breaths. Otherwise, inhale as you stretch those arms out and up. Keep extending. Get a little forward fold right here. Starting out nice and slow, just drop the hands wherever. Breathe. One side of your body is always going to be more flexible than the other. So in yoga, our work is to try to make both sides flexible, or the same amount of flexibility in both sides, because we tend to use one side more than we do the other. Keep breathing. I'm going to bring those hands down, tuck that chin into the chest, help yourself all the way up. Lengthen through this torso as you come up. Bring those hands back and find your position here. Maybe you keep those sit bones on the floor. But for sure, everybody is opening up those shoulders. You're looking up towards that ceiling. Maybe you begin to lift those sit bones up. Soften your eyes here.
And slowly lower those sit bones down.
Sit up nice and tall, extend out through that leg. Release the left leg. Come right back into that stack pose. Navel to the spine.
Beautiful.
Lift the head. We're going to just make our way all the way down to the floor. Let's find Navasana on the way down, your boat pose, kind of working on those abs. This is the first portion of this. And this is fine right here. You can even bring those feet down if you're kind of new to this. Maybe just lift them up a little bit. The big takeaway, everybody's always so worried about these legs, but you know, this is really for your abdominals. So you want to pull those shoulders back and not be so worried about these legs or how far they go. Breathe. Draw the shoulders down, stretch through those fingers. Maybe even you bring those hands back behind those knees. That's okay. And then just extend out nice and long. You're in Baby Navasana. And then slowly lower all the way down. We're going to stretch those arms up over our head, point those toes. Give yourself a nice, good, long stretch. And then gently just allow those hands to come down by your sides. We're going to draw the knees into the chest, interlace those hands, and let's just make some little circles in that low back. Let it release, guys. Let that low back release. Breathe in, breathe out. When you're ready, make the circle in the opposite direction. Feel this stretch. Feel that little circle in your spine. Feel it working. You're massaging that low back. We put our spines through a whole lot with our posture. Trying to maintain that nice tall spot posture will help to alleviate a lot of minor little aches and pains. And then nice and easy, just draw those knees into the chest, really squeeze. Now your abs are drawn in here, you're going to take that tailbone. It may not go down to the floor, that's okay. But make the effort to draw that tailbone down and see if you can stretch those shoulders out. Press the tops of those shoulders down into the earth. And of course, breathe. Keep pressing that tail down. We start out pressing it down, then it lifts back up again. And then gently, we're going to just release the legs. Bring the soles of the feet down. Take those arms out broad across the shoulders. Tuck your shoulders under a little. Sway those knees back and forth. Breathe. Let's just take a few deep breaths in. Open your mouth and release. Make it nice and loud, nice and long. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. In breath. Out breath. Inhale, bring those knees back up to the top. We're going to extend the legs out nice and long. We're headed for Shavasana. Now you take Shavasana any way that feels good to you. Some folks like to sit up. Some folks like to lie down. But everybody's going to find a release in their breath, a release in their body.
So if you're lying down, you're going to just tuck those shoulders under, take the palms, reach them up towards the ceiling. Let the feet fall open and let go of your breath and your muscles. So this is Shavasana, this is your resting pose. This pose is just as important, maybe in some cases more important than the other poses. We're all so busy. We've all got 50 million things that we think we need to do, but a lot of times we don't take time for us. So through exercise, through yoga, through healing yoga, through Shavasana, we learn to release, relax, and let go. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like. You might be in this posture for a few breaths and then maybe take inventory of your body and just notice how you feel. Hopefully you feel a bit more stretched out than when we started. Please remember that a few poses every day, a few stretches every day will make a big difference in the way that you feel, in your posture,